Hey everyone, this amazing ESO Network show is brought to you by our fine sponsor, Amazon.com. Please remember to shop Amazon for all your geeky needs, no matter what time of the year it is. All you need to do is go to esopodcast.com/ESO Amazon, or click on the Amazon banner on the ESO Network webpage to go to our e-store. It's the best way to shop and the best way to support this program, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Okay, that's enough of me babbling for now. Now on with your regular scheduled show.
Exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Hey, look, it's the Tuesday Podcasserole.
It's time, you know.
I'm Jay Patrick, that's Adam.
Someone say that the more fun episode of the week. We have crazy conspiracies and sometimes some scary, spooky stories. You just never know on Tuesday.
Oh, it's spooky, kids. The SOB OTW. We're going to do that at the end of the show.
Okay, we'll do that.
We'll do that. That's where you get to be part of the show. You can send us an email, AJP@AdamandJP, or just tweet at us.
Yeah.
At AdamandJP using the hashtag SOB OTW. We have a pretty big This Week in NWO news coming up.
Oh, yeah. That's what I hear.
I
don't know what's going to happen, but you've teased me for a long time now. I'm ready
for it.
I
think you know this.
Oh, do I?
Oh, yeah. Before we get to that, I was doing something. You know, I like to just sit and think.
Right. You just ponder. You Dobie Gillis.
I do it. I just ponder.
The old Dobie Gillis, I call it.
Do you remember from all your years in school, your childhood, when you were a youth, when you were a youngster, a young man, going to class every day?
Yeah.
Is there an assignment that you had that sticks in your head that either, well, I know one story that you told, but not that assignment. Is there an assignment that sticks in your head that maybe didn't go as well as you had hoped, like some sort of project or an assignment, something you had to do for class?
Yeah.
That maybe didn't go as well as you had hoped, or maybe exceeded your expectations?
Not necessarily. No, I can't think of one. Like I was very mediocre in school.
A science experiment of some sort?
No.
You didn't do the volcano with the vinegar and the hydrogen peroxide?
Did that happen like it was supposed to? Did our Petri dish? That happen like it was supposed to? Did a mock like cave and did the classic foam balls with the space and sun set up? I mean, those all just kind of. I always had my parents helping. So
yeah. Did you have 4-H?
No, I mean. It was an option to do that on the side, but you didn't have to have it.
Yeah, you didn't do 4-H?
Yeah, no.
I know 4-H, like every month it was some sort of project.
Really?
Like the 4-H poster project.
Oh, wow.
Or the 4-H, this month you're going to bake cornbread, and the 4-H people are going to tell you.
I try to stay away from organizations who gave me extra projects.
But this was like a class thing.
Wow, really?
Like the whole class. Like you didn't have to participate in it, but every month, the whole class, like one class, every month, the 4-H people would come in. I don't even remember what 4-H stands for now.
Horticulture, Huevos, I have no idea.
Hawaii, hands.
No idea. The first H words that come up.
But yeah, they would come in once a month, and so we'd have 4-H once a month.
Huh.
And like you could participate in their monthly things. Like I said, the poster project and the cornbread baking was actually. I was so mad because I always lost the corn, and I thought my grandmother made the best cornbread.
It was her recipe.
It was her recipe.
You messed it up every time.
I'm pretty sure they made it. I do remember 6th grade. We had to do like a mock debate. And so there was a governor's race going on at the time. Mm-hmm. So we were assigned one of the gubernatorial candidates.
Was it Sundquist?
Was it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it was. And McWhorter.
Mm-hmm.
This is Tennessee stuff. Sorry. These were Tennessee people, politicians. So, but the teacher gave us the candidate that we had to give a speech on behalf of. And she clearly leaned one way.
Mm-hmm.
She was clearly leaning towards the Democratic candidate. And she would tell us things like, I don't want anybody to come up here and say that, he'll lower taxes because governors can't lower taxes. And like we had all these rules. So
that's pretty hardcore for a young kid.
Yeah. For 6th grade?
Yeah.
For 6th grade history?
Today, I would have no idea what to say.
Well, no one did. So everybody got up and said he'll try to lower taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Yours truly included.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember that if it was the Democratic speech, she wouldn't say anything to the person while they were giving the speech. If it was the person giving the speech on behalf of the Republican candidate, she would interrupt like every few seconds and point out what they said was wrong. What teacher does that?
I guess to strengthen the student, the pupil.
Then why didn't she do it for the other side?
I don't know.
She was not fair and balanced. So guess who I got assigned?
Who's that?
The Republican.
Okay.
I had to give a speech for the Republican
tough,
candidate.
huh?
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I got up and I'm like, clearly, Mr. whatever his name was has said that he'll work with the state House of Representatives and state Senate to find a fair income tax. The governor can't lower taxes. Yeah, it was kind of like that. It was exactly like that. It was 3 minutes of that hell. No wonder I hated school. Even the teachers hated me. There was no teacher that liked me. And I was just a quiet kid.
Yeah.
I didn't cause any problems.
That's funny.
But yeah, I was just curious if you had
I can't think of one that I did.
like an assignment that went
No,
awry.
I was just very. I was in the crowd. Didn't stand out.
You never had to give a presentation of any sort? You never I remember also in that same class, I had to do a project about Albania.
Wow.
Like I had to give like a 3 or 4 minute presentation about Albania.
Wow. In middle school?
Yeah, in sixth grade.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I would never know. We just had like silent projects were our thing, like book projects, book reports, and essays, and you just turned them in. That was it. Never presentations.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe one or two, but nothing worth remembering.
Well, if you want to hear the monologue story,
Wow.
go back a couple of weeks and listen to that.
yeah, that was for theater, but yeah.
Hey, it's Tuesday or Wednesday whenever you hear this.
Yeah, it depends when you listen.
It depends on whenever I get it
It
out.
could be a Friday.
It's when we do This Week in NWO News. Oh, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
This Week in NWO News is pretty new.
Yeah.
We're doing
I'm
what,
curious what this is. Are you
a
sure I
month
know
or two?
this?
You sent this to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, I do know.
If there is one star of NWO News thus far, who do you think it would be?
Without a doubt, Mr. Alex. I don't know his middle initial, but I'll say P. Jones.
Alex P. Jones.
Like Mr. Keaton.
Alex, but let me say this.
Yeah.
From the onset, absolutely serious. Clearly, Alex Jones is involved in some sort of custody. His marriage has fallen apart, and there's a fight over his children, which is not funny.
Right.
That's not funny.
But what's about to be said is very funny.
But what has come out during this custody battle that he's embroiled in is I find it very interesting. This is the statement that Alex Jones' attorneys made in response to allegations from Alex Jones' estranged wife that he's a loose cannon. You know, he's unpredictable, he's dangerous, he's obnoxious, he's loud, he's got apparent mental disorders.
Pretty obvious. You listen to his show.
And if you don't believe me, watch his show.
Uh-huh.
This is what his lawyer said. The Alex Jones of InfoWars and the radio is a character, not a real person. He's a performance artist. And judging his stability based on that performance would be like judging Jack Nicholson based on his portrayal of the Joker in Batman.
Wow.
That was the statement made by Alex Jones' attorney.
Wow.
So it got me thinking. Do you think that we could find evidence that perhaps Alex Jones is... do you think we could find evidence that he's clearly stable or he's unstable?
Maybe. We've heard interviews with him on other podcasts and shows where he's not on his own show, but still definitely brings it down a notch from when he's on his show.
Right.
But still has the same ideas and motives as if he weren't a character. So I'm not sure.
Well, we know that he can get a little, shall we say, riled up.
Yeah.
When he starts talking about the conspiracy stuff. But what if we found Alex Jones just talking about day-to-day things?
Yeah.
Then maybe we would get a better sense of what Alex Jones... Sorry, I know what's about to play.
I have no idea.
Maybe we could get a better sense of what Alex Jones is really like. Like, what if you found Alex Jones, I don't know, talking about the hassles of airport security?
For your safety, is there any bags or anything? No, there's an open border, bitch. There's goddamn all kind of people being shipped in, you whore. You fucking want me to tell you if I saw something? Yeah, I saw something. I saw total tyranny being brought in. I saw foreign threats being used to take my freedom.
What is that from?
That was from a cell phone video that Alex Jones made in an airport.
Wow. Interesting. Okay.
What if we found Alex Jones talking about the importance of constructive debate in society?
You're that stupid twit.
Yep, I'm that twit.
You look like such a weak little punk, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Alex.
Hey,
appreciate it.
Take care, weakling.
Thank you.
Why don't you come up to New York next time I'm up there? I'll be up there this year.
I'll see you.
I'll be there.
I'll see
You hear me? I'm going to be there.
I'll be there the third time this year.
Good. You come up and talk to me.
Wow. Maybe he is crazy overall, though. I think even to have a character you portray like that makes you kind of crazy.
Well,
but like you said with Jack Nicholson and the Joker, doesn't mean he is crazy.
That's true. And you've always said you enjoyed Alex Jones for the entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
You have said that since the first clip that we played.
Fantastic entertainment. I listen all day to him if I could.
So he probably is just a performance artist.
Yeah.
I'm sure on Friday night when he and his wife are getting ready to go out on their date night, he's just a normal guy like the rest of us.
No, she's a goddess! She's saving Earth! Prison right here. Damn it. She needs to be in prison now. This shirt's evil! No! Yeah! Get away from me, racist! She's God!
Is that backstage at Raw? What happened there?
I think that was backstage at his show.
Really?
You can find that video. He actually rips his shirt open like Hulk Hogan.
Wow. What's he so mad
about? And when he runs off, I don't know. It's just that clip.
Wow.
And when he runs off, he kind of darts like a little spider monkey.
Wow.
He's like running without a shirt on.
Wow.
I don't know. Here's Alex Jones talking about exercise.
Sometimes people bitch and complain. Sometimes I do something with my shirt off. It's because I'm real and I don't care. And I'm too lazy to go out there and put a shirt on before I put my jogging outfit on and go for a run.
This is sad in a lot of ways. One, because he is certifiably crazy at this point, some would say. Other ways, I mean, there are some people that listen to his show and watch his show and take that as scripture. You know? I mean, a lot of people base their lives on what Alex Jones says.
Yeah.
And if he's a performing artist, it's kind of sad.
And remember that, because I want to go back to that point.
Okay.
Because I saw something last night on CNN that I want to bring up at the end of this. So remember that point.
Okay.
Because you're absolutely right. What do you think Alex Jones is like during the summer? When we all go and hang out, we like go to the pool.
Yeah.
Maybe he takes his shirt off and he's sunbathing by the pool.
All about his shirt, isn't it?
Or maybe he likes to get in the pool. I don't know. Here's Alex Jones on Summer Fun.
I've seen, when I've gotten out of community pools and I got to go to the bathroom, people go, wow, you go to the restroom to piss in the pool? I've talked to grown men, they go, I just pee right in the pool. I'm like, I don't want to swim around in your piss. I go to the bathroom to piss. And excuse me talking like that, but that's the fundamentals of what I boil this down to. The Muslims from third world countries, they're used to crapping in a river. So they get in the German swimming pool and they all start crapping in the pool. You globalists think you're so advanced. I'm civilized. I don't take a crap in the pool. Madeleine Albright, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Al Gore, David Rockefeller, all of you take collective dumps in the pool because you think you're in a different pool than us. You think you're up on the castle on the hill. The truth is you're in the same pool as us, idiots.
That's pretty fantastic.
What does Alex Jones not do?
Doesn't take a dump in the pool.
He doesn't take a dump in the pool.
Wow. See, that's entertaining. You just can't believe it as truth. And when people do, it's when they have a problem.
So far, I don't think we're doing a very good job of building the argument that he's just normal.
Right. No.
Well, okay.
There's got to be some recording of him speaking normally, right?
There has to be.
Yeah.
And it's got to be, he's protective of his family. It's got to be him talking about the importance of home safety.
Bill O'Reilly shouldn't have bodyguards. I'm sick of that sniveler.
Yes.
When he was a radio host, he used to have the police called and would send private bodyguards to people's houses in Florida and New York where he lives. He had caller ID and talk radio. Nobody else has that. And would literally, if someone disagreed, send bullies to their house. O'Reilly, you send bullies to my house, I'm going to break their jaw. And if you try that with me, punk, I don't care if you're a thug who wants to bully people. Okay? You got to be ashamed of yourself. After all the bullying Irish went through, you turned into a big, fat bully. You're a big, fat bully, scumbag. You don't like it. You understand that? I'm sick of these people. Damn liar.
I think it's because of my love of pro wrestling is why I like Alex Jones. I just now realize this. He's pretty much cutting promos on people.
You're a big fat bully, scumbag.
He even has the Ultimate Warrior snort. Yeah, he does that.
She's a goddess. So I don't know. Maybe yeah. I agree with you. He's just a performance artist. Here's just some of the things that came out in this this custody trial. He's had his son on the show. They brought that up, that he's actually had his son on the show doing segments.
How old are his kids?
I think his son's like 10 or 11. There was a case manager assigned to this couple, and they both had to go through to a therapist for some not counseling, but I guess maybe observation. According to the therapist assigned to this case, the therapist diagnosed Alex Jones with, what do you think you'd be diagnosed with, Adam?
Hypertension?
Probably, but I think a doctor would do that. The therapist diagnosed him with narcissistic personality disorders.
Okay.
And during one therapy session, the therapist said he took his shirt off for no apparent reason.
He loves taking his shirt off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Which I've never seen him, thankfully, with his shirt off.
You can if you find the video that I found.
Yeah.
All those clips are in one video, by the way. And that was only half the video.
I'm just saying, can't keep his shirt on, very angry, cutting promos. He's a pro wrestler.
He is a pro wrestler.
Yeah.
To get back to what you said, and you've always asked, does he believe what he says? If he is, and I totally think he is, this is all an act. I mean, we've been saying this since we've been talking about Alex Jones. It's all an act. It's all entertainment. And he's absolutely wrong. Every radio station has caller ID and has for 20 years. I believe it's all an act. Last night, and one of the biggest problems, and we've talked about this before, that I have with Alex Jones, that's fine. If you want to, like, talk about not dumping in the pool and yell and rip your shirt off, that's fine. And you found an audience for that, that's great. What I have a problem with, the biggest problem I have had with Alex Jones, goes back to the Boston Marathon bombing and that whole week and a half that he tried to present evidence that there were crisis actors on hand, that the Boston Marathon bombing didn't... Oh, no, not... Well, there was that. There was the Boston Marathon bombing. And then he did the same thing earlier for the Sandy Hook shooting.
Right, yeah. Even for 9/11 stuff, I mean...
Yeah. That these parents grieving the loss of their children that were gunned down in a classroom were crisis actors. And last night, and I wish I had a clip from it, and I don't. I'm sure you can find it online. Last night on CNN Tonight with Don Lemon, I think is the host of that, he had one of the Sandy Hook parents on who actually tried to reach out to Alex Jones to explain to him, because the parent said, he goes, I used to love Alex Jones. I used to listen to him almost every day because I loved that whole conspiracy idea, and I found it very entertaining. And then Sandy Hook happened, and then I saw what he was taking and making into entertainment from this horrible human tragedy. And so he actually tried to reach out to Alex Jones. He made it as far as the Alex Jones producers and stuff, and they wanted him to come on the show, but he knew going on that show that he would just become a prop in that act, and so he didn't go on the show.
Wow!
But I think it's sad.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the saddest thing this guy's done, is that he made the Sandy Hook massacre into part of his entertainment. Look, it's all entertainment. Every radio host, be it sports, be it Art Bell or George Norrie, or be it political host like Glenn Beck, it's all entertainment. It is all an act on some level. Now, maybe they believe what they make into their show. Maybe in their heart they believe a lot of what they say, but it's all an act. And I think it's very interesting that when push came to shove for Alex Jones and custody of his kids were on the line, his lawyers released that statement that, he's just a performance artist. This is all. It is like pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
It really is.
It's all like pro wrestling.
So do you think, in the long run, is he crazy or is it a performance artist? What is it?
I think he just is really good at what he does.
Yeah.
And it's all an entertaining show. And I think the real sadness is that people believe this crap that he's saying.
That's what's sad about it.
That's the sad part. Now, look, the space stuff and the alien stuff and all that, I don't care. Believe what you want. It's fun. I'll be the first one to admit.
Oh, yeah, it's interesting.
That sort of conspiracy theory is fun. But when you start doing like that Sandy Hook bullshit, then it's not fun anymore. And it's, I mean, he should be ashamed of himself for doing that.
Agreed.
For exploiting a tragedy like that.
Yeah.
But, all the other stuff that we make fun of him for, I think it's great. And plus, we get gems like this. So, Alex Jones starring in This Week in NWO News.
Pretty much our host of it at this point, right?
Pretty much.
He's the highlight and focus of NWO News.
There's lots of entertaining stuff online.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, coming up, we're going to start our year-long anthology.
Oh, yeah.
Not every week for a year, but
just once a month or so.
Once a month. We're going to chronologically go through the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and it all starts with 2008's Iron Man.
Next.
Hey, Kevin.
Hey, Cornflake.
So we host the Flopcast.
We cover nerd and geek subjects of all types, but this is sort of a sillier, goofier side of geekdom, I'd say.
We love to talk about music, especially funny music.
We talk about comic books, conventions.
Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh, yeah. I'd say if you're going to put the Flopcast in Brady Bunch terms, we're like the cousin Oliver of podcasting. And we do a ridiculous new Flopcast episode every week.
What is wrong with us?
We really have nothing else to do. We're part of the Earth Station 1 podcast network.
And you can find us at flopcast.net.
They say the best weapon is one you never have to fire. I prefer the weapon you only need to fire once. To peace.
Is it cool if I take a picture with you?
Yes, it's very cool. I don't want to see this on your MySpace page. Please, no gang signs. No, throw it up, I'm kidding.
You don't think Iron Man's dated until you hear a MySpace reference in the trailer.
Yeah. On the way over here recording, I thought, like, wow, that was a MySpace reference. That's funny.
In 2008, Marvel Studios, they had been producing movies for some time, but this was the first movie they actually financed themselves and put out, and I believe Paramount was the distributor for the first Iron Man movie, starring Robert Downey Jr., directed by Jon Favreau. I mean, I tend to think they didn't know how big this would be.
No idea.
But just in case people dug this, they built in a way to build basically a universe out of this one movie. It all started with Tony Stark. What an interesting kickoff for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I mean, before this movie came out, I had no desire, no interest whatsoever in that character. I'll be honest. I knew him from the old cartoons, old comics, of course, the toys. I just never had any desire to see that on screen. And this came out, and begrudgingly, I went to go see it, and I think I saw it in theaters at least 4 times. I was in love with it.
I did not see this in the theater.
Oh, wow.
I only saw Iron Man for the first. I've never seen Iron Man in the theater. I only saw it for the first time on home video.
Really?
On Blu-ray, as a matter of fact.
Whoa, really?
It might have been the first Blu-ray movie I watched was Iron Man. And even though you might have not been a huge Iron Man fan, I have read some Iron Man comics when I was a kid. I'm very familiar with the cartoon. Obviously, Jon Favreau was a huge Iron Man fan.
Right, yeah.
And I think Robert Downey Jr. was too.
I think he is embodied Tony Stark at this point. There's no more Robert Downey Jr. It is Tony Stark.
I mean, he always looks like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
The facial hair and everything.
Yeah.
Even wears the Tony Stark glasses most of the time. But I think it was their love for this character that helped make this movie just feel the way that it felt.
Yeah.
And as good as it was.
Yeah, it was in production since 1990. It went through multiple studios and different actors and directors, and it had to have that certain amount of people and a certain combination to even make it right.
So what do you think it was about this movie? I mean, what did they get right in Iron Man that maybe some superhero movies up to that point had not?
I think the realism of it, maybe. Up to this point, every single superhero movie was over the top, and it could be a callback to the character itself. I mean, you think of the other superhero movies before this, they're also, I mean, even X-Men, which is pretty close to that, the closest one to it, we would say. It's just still like a different world, very heavy sci-fi elements, which of course we see later on in other Iron Man or Marvel Cinematic Universe movies that comes into play. But for this Iron Man movie here, this was pretty much just a small notch above very realistic. If someone was extremely smart and had an unlimited amount of money, it could happen in a world.
Mm-hmm.
And so to have a superhero movie where, for the first time really, like, I mean, the draw to a Spider-Man character is, hey, I was once a high school kid, or I am a high school kid. This could happen to me. I'm a normal guy. Peter Parker's normal, but the odds of a radioactive spider biting you are implausible.
Mm-hmm.
Where in Iron Man, most of the technology is legitimate. It could happen. So the realism was a big standout for me.
Do you think, and we touched briefly on this, talking about Robert Downey Jr., but to me, it was him that put this movie over the top.
Oh, yeah, without doubt.
Excuse me, Mr. Stark. Christine Everhart, Vanity Fair magazine. Can I ask you a couple of questions?
She's cute. She's all right. Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's okay?
Okay, go.
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
And what do you say to your other nickname, the Merchant of Death?
That's not bad.
So he's this kind of warmonger, or war profiteer, I guess.
Yeah, makes money off of missiles and bombs.
And has no problem with it, because later in that scene he explains that a lot of the profits made from his weapons manufacturing goes to help, green energy and agriculture and that sort of thing. So he has never been, and even when you dig deep into the mythos of the Stark family, his dad was kind of the same way too.
All right, yeah.
And I think that had Robert Downey Jr. not lived the life that Robert Downey Jr. had lived up to this point, Tony Stark wouldn't be the Tony Stark that we have in the movie.
That's true. I mean, it is almost a mirror image from birth to current day of Robert Downey Jr.'s storyline.
It really is.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before on the show, but even stuff that was worked into the movie actually came from his actual life. Like his moment of clarity. The minute that he hit rock bottom, he had a drug or a car full of drugs and was in a Burger King drive-thru, buying 2 Whoppers.
Yeah.
And he took those Whoppers and he drove to the beach and he ate them and dumped the drugs in the water, which probably wasn't a good idea. And maybe he didn't do that. Maybe that's just the dramatic telling of that. But that's when he started on his path of becoming the Robert Downey Jr. that we have today. That scene, it's almost a mirror image when he gets back from Afghanistan after being kidnapped by the terrorists and wounded and having to save himself, and then building, which I think was the coolest Iron Man suit in the whole movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the throwback to the classic.
Yeah, the throwback to the what was that called? Not the golden. Nah. I can't remember. There's a name for that suit.
Oh,
I
really?
can't remember the name of it.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, he builds that suit to escape the cave, and he gets back to the United States. The first thing he does is he has Happy take him to Burger King or whatever.
Yeah. Just the first time you hear that the chord of the actual Iron Man, it was cool in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Yeah,
when it bursts out, and it was cool.
Music
Good scene.
And then the first couple of Iron Man movies, not so much in the third one, but definitely those first 2 Iron Man movies, music played a big part of it.
Oh yeah,
a lot of AC/DC.
Yeah, quite a bit
in these movies. Because in the Afghanistan scene, when he's telling the kid to not put it on his social media or whatever, isn't Back in Black playing when they're driving the convoy?
Maybe
driving through the desert.
It's possible. Yeah.
And then there's another AC/DC song in it.
Yeah, there are quite a few.
And then, as we'll talk about when we get to Iron Man 2, that whole Iron Man intro at the Stark Expo,
right,
is just an AC/DC music video.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of the other characters in this movie. Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane.
Yeah, good, a great villain. I never thought that Jeff Bridges could be such a good villain, honestly. Especially like an older, grizzled, almost, maybe not chubbier, just a bigger beard, bald-headed. I would never guess him as that pick for the choice of the cast of that. I wouldn't, but he did a great job.
And had never read Iron Man, didn't know the character, but as a lot of these actors do, well, if I'm going to play this character, can you send me some stuff? So he studied up on his Iron Man knowledge by reading through a bunch of Iron Man comic books before shooting the original Iron Man.
Yeah.
An interesting story arc with Obadiah Stane, because as Tony Stark had lost, his dad died when he was really young, and we'd find out under nefarious situations.
Right. That was, what, I mean, over 10 years later?
We found that out. Wow. That's how, dude. It is so crazy what they've been able to. Not even
almost 10 years, yeah.
You could say, well, the James Bond movies have been around for 50 years.
Yeah.
It's not a continuing story,
right?
But we are almost 10 years into a continuing story with these movies, and Netflix shows and TV shows. So you kind of have Obadiah Stane kind of step in as the surrogate father to Tony Stark. So obviously Tony Stark has those dad issues that he had before his dad passed away, that we find out that he had years later. And then he loses his parents. And you have Obadiah Stane that kind of steps in as a surrogate parent who ends up basically trying to kill Tony Stark and totally turns his back on him.
Yeah. Takes the technology of the Iron Man suit.
Yeah. And creates the Ironmonger.
Mm-hmm. Which, once again, being a Marvel movie, the villains are the weakest point of this year.
Right.
I believe so.
But yeah, the Ironmonger, Iron Man thing at the end of the movie, it's fine. It ends the movie.
It's very weak, though. I mean, if there's a weak part of the movie, that's it.
It's not the best part.
Yeah.
It's not the best part of the movie. I would contend that when he first becomes Iron Man and he's just kind of flying around doing stuff, which doesn't happen a lot in these Marvel movies now.
Not anymore, no.
Like, oh, I'm Iron Man now. Now I'll go do Iron Man things.
Yeah.
and
that's a bigger initiative at this point.
Yeah, it's much bigger. He's not just freeing like a village. I would say that's more interesting than the Ironmonger stuff at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
The best part of that whole Ironmonger sequence is when Obadiah Stane actually takes the arc reactor out of Tony's chest.
Yeah.
And, it basically leaves him there to die.
What a cool concept. The whole arc reactor in general. They don't really touch on that much anymore, but that's just a cool concept that he needs that to live, to keep the shrapnel from the bomb that he and his company itself created to go into his heart. It's just a cool concept. Good origin story there.
Yeah, it's basically a giant magnet, like you said, that's pushing the shrapnel away from his heart.
Yeah.
And powers the Iron Man suit. But it doesn't power it anymore.
It doesn't.
Why did they get rid of the arc reactor? I guess
what powers it now? Just the suit itself? How does it work?
Yeah, it's just the suit.
Weird.
Because, he took the arc reactor out and he went through the surgery in Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have it in his shirt.
Forgot about that.
Doesn't have it on his chest.
Forgot about that. That was a cool part, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Iron Man suits still have arc reactors in them, I guess, for
some reason.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really like Obadiah Stane. I really like Jeff Bridges as Obadiah Stane, this kind of father figure that ends up turning his back on Tony Stark. Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts.
I think she in general was a give or take for me. She's good for what she is. And I see her now when I see that actress. When I see Gwyneth Paltrow, I think Pepper Potts. That's it, which is a good thing, I guess. But I see her as nothing else. Like Tony Stark is Robert Downey Jr., vice versa, and she is Pepper Potts.
I think there's a good chemistry between those two.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think, and
I'm just curious when she shows up, when she doesn't in the cinematic universe. Like sometimes, why is she not there? Why is she? Besides contractual reasons, storyline-wise, she should always kind of be around him, right?
Well, I think as it stands now in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're split up.
It's an easy contract cover-up.
I think the reality is she just doesn't want to do it anymore.
You think she's done?
I think she's done.
Really?
Yeah, but I think in the story, in the MCU story,
that's got to be her biggest role. I mean, from what she's known for.
But
right?
now he's freed up to date Aunt May.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and she goes from shallow Hal to that. In my eyes, she's that. She's one of the two.
Because there's that whole sequence where she was supposed to be at the presentation in Civil War and she wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I do like the chemistry between Gwyneth Paltrow and Robert Downey Jr. in this movie.
The copper wire. The copper wire. You got it?
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Now don't let it touch you. Eyes when you're coming out. That's what I was trying to tell you before. Okay, now make sure that when you pull it out, you don't pull out there's a magnet at the end of it. That was it. You just pulled out. Okay.
Oh, God.
I was
Okay.
not expecting.
What
Don't
do
put
I
it
do?
back in.
What
Don't
do
put it back in.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just going into cardiac arrest because you
What?
yanked.
I thought you
out
said this was
like a
safe.
trout lure. We gotta hurry. Take this.
Okay.
We gotta switch it out really quick.
Okay. Tony.
What?
It's gonna be okay.
Is
okay. It's gonna be okay. I am gonna
Let's
make this okay.
hope. Okay, you're gonna attach that to the base plate and make sure you. Yow! Was that so hard? That was fun, right? I got it. Nice.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I feel great.
So he recreates the arc reactor once he gets back.
Mm-hmm.
Like he makes the first one to get out of the cave.
Yeah, with limited supplies there.
Right. When he's supposed to be making a bomb for the terrorists.
Yeah.
He's actually building an arc reactor and an Iron Man. So, well, no, the doctor, like using a car battery.
Oh, yeah.
And a magnet creates like like a makeshift arc
Yeah,
reactor.
to save him from the get-go.
Yeah, and then he gets back to the States and finds out that he can use the arc reactor for clean energy, the arc reactor technology, and will no longer be a weapons manufacturer.
Yay! Stark Industries is good now.
Which is what turns Obadiah Stane against him, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, because he was trying to kill him.
He wants in general that.
He just wants the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I miss Pepper Potts.
Yeah, you should give her a take.
I really like her in the third one.
Yeah.
I think they did some good things for her character.
I just never been a fan of. I know the actress. It's tough for me to separate that in her case. Not a good person.
Not a good person?
No, she's not a nice person at all.
You don't think so?
No.
You don't think Gwyneth Paltrow's a nice person?
Terrible stories about her, like being mean to people and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
What stories?
Don't read them; it'll ruin it.
Can you tell me?
No, I mean she's just a bad person.
What? She killed
no.
small animals?
I mean, she names her kid Apple. I mean, I can go on.
What's wrong with that?
No, she's not nice to people.
She's married to the guy from Coldplay.
They got divorced, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But just mean.
She's friends with Jay-Z.
Just mean to people. That's all I'm saying.
She's I don't know about that.
Yeah, not a nice person.
I'll believe you. I won't argue against that.
Yeah, but it worked. This relationship did work on film here. I liked it.
What about Rhodey?
This is my favorite Rhodey.
Really? You like the Terrence Howard Rhodey as opposed to
Cheadle is
Don
hashtag
Cheadle?
not my Roadie. I see him now. It still doesn't feel right. I like
really
Terrence Howard much more. Yeah,
even though you have like
12
times more. See,
Yeah.
I prefer Don Cheadle as
really.
Rhodey.
I don't know. He is a. It's gonna ruffle your feathers here. He is a very what's his name? Your favorite actor, Denzel Washington.
Yeah,
that's who Don Cheadle is to me.
No, you can't. Look,
like,
dude,
the same role.
It is not the no. Like you're right. Most of the times when you say that, you cannot say Don Cheadle is the same.
Up until this point, I've never seen a movie with Don Cheadle where
then
he's
you
not
need to watch more Don Cheadle movies.
I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can stomach it. Every single role I've seen him in is just
go
Don Cheadle.
Go watch Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah, well, I don't want to see that.
I assure you.
Okay,
It is nothing like James
I've always
Rhodey
liked,
Rhodes.
as an actor in general, I like Terrence Howard much more. I always have. So it's tough.
Do you watch Empire?
No, I don't. No.
But
if I had to look, I just like his style more to it.
Yeah, I prefer Cheadle.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Cheadle's too like slender cheeked. Really? Does that make sense? He seems emaciated. Where Terrence Howard has got some beef and like an actual soldier. I don't believe for a second that Don Cheadle's a soldier.
Oh,
Terrence
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be right.
Terrence Howard's got the soldier look. Cheadle looks like he's been on a fast for a few months. I never got that.
I think there's a better chemistry between Don Cheadle and Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, they've had 5 movies to work it out.
Than Terrence Howard.
Yeah. But that's weird to me they did that. That's a semi-big character, especially knowing the long run. I don't know where the contract went wrong there.
Well, they did the same thing for the next movie we'll talk about.
Yeah. Which one do you mean?
Hulk.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
They went from,
Edward
Norton
yeah.
to Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. It's true.
One of the Avengers is different.
Yeah.
And the Hulk even looks different.
No, big time.
Because it's Mark Ruffalo.
Big time.
Well, Rhodey aside.
Hashtag not my Rhodey. That's all I'm saying.
What a fun movie this was. I think that
great,
might have been the big selling point for this movie.
Which part?
Is that it was just fun.
Oh, yeah. Realistic and fun.
It was realistic and fun.
Yeah.
And so is there a Marvel Cinematic Universe if the Hulk is the first movie out of the gate and not Iron Man?
I think so. I think, not taking away from how good Iron Man is, but I think it was the right time, right place, right time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Captain America was next, I think it would have done the exact same thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Really? I mean, Iron Man's good, but it wasn't like the savior of comic book movies. I think regardless, it was time for this to happen. It was right place, right time. It could have been a Thor movie next. I think Thor would have done that.
No,
really?
I think there was just something about the Iron Man movie. I
Really?
think had the Incredible Hulk been the first one out,
Mm-hmm.
it would have done okay, just like Ang Lee's Hulk had done,
Mm-hmm.
and would have quickly been,
Really?
in the discount bin at
Yeah.
the Piggly Wiggly.
Now, people always compare Iron Man as Marvel's version of a DC Batman. Will we ever see a Batman that's a little more happy and lighthearted like this? I mean, really, you could easily take an Iron Man story dark and gritty and gruesome, but why not have a light and happy Batman? Why can't we have that? The character itself isn't that dark.
You had that. It was George Clooney.
Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, they could make it once again realism. Realism is key here. Batman is another believable character. If someone like Bruce Wayne had billions and was that smart and that much of a badass, they could possibly create something close to a Batsuit. That's all I'm saying.
True.
And not make it so depressing.
But it almost seems like Jon Favreau was a Disney director before Disney owned Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
Because even the sequences when Tony Stark is putting the suits together and that whole, like, making one of the robotic arms a character almost.
Right.
Is very Disney-esque. And, I mean, we saw it in Doctor Strange, where the cape was a character, basically. Where you take these kind of inanimate objects that become a character that you care about in the movie. Like, you feel bad for the robot arm when Tony Stark yells at him. And he kind of drops his arm. So I think that Jon Favreau was definitely onto something and was more of a Disney director at the time that he made Iron Man. I think it just kind of made a path for Disney to acquire and these movies to become, I mean, how many billions of dollars have these movies made?
Do you think they had the foresight at the time to cast Paul Bettany as the voice of Jarvis, knowing down the line it would someday be Vision?
I would like to think they did. I don't think so. I think it just kind of worked out that way.
Because it was odd. They took the Jarvis. I mean, in the comics and other realms, Jarvis is a physical person, like a man. Well, and here they made him like an actual, entity.
And and Agent Carter, isn't Jarvis?
I've never seen 1 second of that. I have no idea.
I think they make. Yeah. It's Tony Stark's or his dad. What's his dad's first name?
I have no idea. Lark Stark.
It's not Lark Stark. Tony Stark's dad.
Yeah.
His butler is Jarvis, and Agent Carter.
Okay.
So you have Jarvis as like an actual character.
Which is odd. For Iron Man, they didn't do that as well. It's like I almost think they knew somehow that would happen. Maybe.
I don't think so, man.
So? What's the point of making
I think we like to give them more credit.
Yeah.
I think they got very lucky.
Yeah.
And I think once they realized how lucky they were getting, I think that's why these movies they feel like separate movies.
What's the point of making Jarvis an AI? Just to make it easier, I mean, more modern, I guess, instead of an actual butler, because no one has butlers anymore.
Yeah. Plus, if you have an AI, then the AI can help you figure out stuff out, through computer wizardry that you can't figure out on your own.
Yeah.
Plus, then you end up getting cast as a Vision.
Yeah, there you go. I just wonder when they told him, like, what point in time Paul Bettany was told that. Like, he's been this voiceover role for 5, 6, 7 years, and one day they're like, hey, what do you think of coming on screen as a major Avenger? What?
So 5 years. For 5 years, he was involved.
Yeah.
Is just showing up.
As a voiceover guy. He's in a booth speaking to a mic in his sweats.
He said 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like, he got paid to basically record for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went on vacation, and Iron Man comes out, and he's Jarvis. Also, Favreau was very smart in the way he shot Tony, like when he's inside the suit.
Right, yeah.
Those kind of... And to me, it makes it feel like more personal, rather than when he's Iron Man, you just see him in the Iron Man suit. To actually have those shots where you go inside the suit and you see, kind of the reflection of the displays on his face, and you see, the reactions to the decisions that he's making. I think it makes it a more personal feel, and I think that was a genius shot to do, and you see it to this day.
Yeah, you see it now, and you just take it as canon.
I'm sure you'll see it in Spider-Man Homecoming.
You think so?
When he's flying around with Spider-Man, there'll be a shot where it's Tony's face while he's inside the suit.
Yeah.
And it's a good idea.
It works well.
It was a really good plan.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add about Iron Man?
That's about it, I believe. I mean, it was overall one of the best. I mean, I think to this day, your favorite MCU movie, correct?
It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I got to be honest. It may still be my favorite MCU movie.
Wow.
The original Iron Man.
It's good, but I've got others, but we'll talk about those in a few months.
Yeah, and I stick by what I said. Had any other of those Marvel movies come out, it might have been one and done. Because like I was saying, I think we give them credit for having this grand plan, but I really think it was just them getting lucky along the way. Because Iron Man could have been a standalone movie. Yeah, you get the scene at the end. Well, Clark Gregg is in it, in the movie.
Yeah.
As Agent Coulson, who's trying to...
The whole time kind of teasing for this. I forget the actual what S.H.I.E.L.D. stands for, but yeah.
But he keeps saying, he never says S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Right. He always says, I'm with Strategic Homeland, blah, 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 blah. And then you got the Samuel L. Jackson scene at the end.
Yeah.
Which could have been just a throwaway scene. If Iron Man had failed, they never would have built upon that.
Mm-hmm.
It just would have been a fun way to end the movie. Then when the Hulk comes out, the Incredible Hulk, and you put Tony Stark at the end of that movie. But once again, they're in a spot that had the Incredible Hulk not been successful, they could have just ended it right there.
Right, yeah.
And Thor and Captain America, well, I think by the time Captain America came along, they knew what they were doing.
They knew
at
that point.
But I don't even think in Thor they were 100% sure where they were going.
Here's another new guy. Here we go.
Maybe they were, because Hawkeye was introduced in the first Thor.
Yeah, and then you have Iron Man 2, which we'll talk about soon, with some Black Widow coming in. He started introducing the B guys.
Yeah, the B team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that when you meet Black Widow in Iron Man 2, that she continued to be like a major part of the Avengers.
I thought that was a one and done thing. Honestly.
I did too.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, Scarlett Johansson's in this one. This will be fun.
One-time deals, Whiplash, Black Widow. It's cool.
Yeah, well, I'm glad Whiplash wasn't in any others.
That's one of the weakest villains. We'll speak of him soon. Give us a few months.
Well, according to Jon Favreau, he wanted to do the first Iron Man movie with the Mandarin as the main villain. But felt like it might get too convoluted with trying to explain Tony Stark's background and the Mandarin's background.
Yeah. Good thing they didn't ever explain his background. That's good.
Oh, man.
Once again, give us a few months. We'll talk about that.
Iron Man 2, that's Iron Man 3, but Iron Man 2 is not one of my favorite MCU movies.
No, it's borderline bad.
I'll have to go back and watch it again. I didn't have to rewatch Iron Man for this. I just kind of watched a few scenes online.
Yeah.
I will have to go back and watch Iron Man 2.
I would say Thor 2 is my least favorite, but followed closely by Iron Man 2 is my next to least favorite.
Yeah,
MCUs.
For next month, I'll have to go back and watch the Incredible Hulk again, too. I've only seen that a couple of times.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll be next month, right?
Yeah, that's the next one.
Chronologically, that's the next one.
Yeah, in May of 2017.
Final thoughts on Iron Man.
It's great. It's good. It served its purpose.
It's great.
It's good.
Where would you rank it? Like, would you say Iron Man still stays as one of the top 5 MCU movies?
Maybe for me. Maybe number 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely still up there for me.
Yeah.
I think it's...
It laid solid groundwork. It was well done. Hard to top it.
I can't believe that movie is almost 10 years old.
Like I said, I saw it 4 times. I know at least 4 times in theaters. I was in love.
And I didn't see it at all.
And I hate Iron Man. Like the actual character in comics, I still to this day don't have any... I don't care. Because even Civil War, I was always on Captain America's side. He was portrayed even more so in the comic series of Civil War as the villain. And so I just never had any plan for him.
But I agree with you that Warner Brothers and DC could learn some lessons, not just in how Marvel does things with tone in their movie, but also what you do with the billion-dollar guy who wants to make suits.
It's quite simple. It's right there. The blueprints are laid out and it's successful. And people, the money comes in and fans like it instead of Warner Brothers just getting money and having fans hate it.
What if, now follow me on this, what if Robert Downey Jr.'s contract is over with Avengers 3, he leaves the MCU and becomes Batman?
Oh, wow. It's like an old WWE TNA swerve.
I think he's a little old. How old is he now?
I think 51, 52. I remember he was doing stuff for Civil War, and I think he was 50 that year. Just turned 50.
Oh, wow.
So he's in his 50s for sure.
I'm going to end with the ending of the movie. Because this movie does have one of the best endings of any of these superhero movies. And then we'll talk a little bit about this scene once we play this.
I'm just not the hero type, clearly, with this laundry list of character defects, all the mistakes I made, largely public. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The truth is, I am Iron Man.
So when they shot this scene with Tony Stark revealing that he actually is Iron Man, which was a great way to end the movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think that's pretty cool.
It was awesome.
When they shot that scene, all the extras that were playing the reporters in the room, they told those extras, this is just a dream sequence we're filming for the movie.
Really?
So just keep that in mind as we're filming this movie. This is a dream sequence that Tony Stark is having where he reveals that he's Iron Man. So nobody would go out and say, there's a part in the movie where he actually reveals he's Iron Man. Because that was a big reveal.
Yeah. That's funny.
And plays into the rest of the Iron Man movies.
Yeah.
Because we all know who Iron Man is when he's flying around.
Yeah, no, I was not very exposed to it, but in the comics at the time, did he not know, was that not a known who his identity was?
Well, not until Civil War.
Really? Yeah, because it's when he initiative. That's true.
I mean, there might have been a point up before Civil War, but I think the first time he revealed he was Iron Man.
And I think that kind of, like you said, set the tone, because in general, almost every single hero is known who they actually are. I mean, really.
Yeah.
That's why the Civil War movie didn't take the same storyline as the comics, because
we all knew.
Yeah, secret identity didn't mean that much at all.
Yeah, Black Widow has testified before Congress at this point about S.H.I.E.L.D. activities.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce Banner's known that he's the Hulk, but it's not a hidden thing.
I'm really surprised they haven't convinced Robert Downey Jr. to make an appearance on, say, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Because
could they afford that? I don't know.
I mean, well, they had Samuel L. Jackson in one episode.
Yeah.
Because the thing about that whole Coulson storyline, the rest of the Avengers still think he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, spoiler alert from when we do the Avengers.
That's true, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
They have no idea that he's actually still running around with S.H.I.E.L.D. agents from an underground bunker.
I'll never watch that show, so go and tell me, how did he come back to life?
They called it the Tahiti Project.
Oh, wow.
Where S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually able to save him by some pretty intense reorganizing of his brain and using artificial intelligence and surgery, basically.
I think you just said like 28 syllables in 3 words there. I don't know what just happened.
But that's what it was.
Yeah.
It was called the Tahiti Project. And because in his mind, while they're doing all this, while they're basically ripping his memories and physically ripping him apart to put him back together, they injected this thought that he was on vacation in Tahiti. So the whole time he's dreaming he's on vacation in Tahiti, and he's actually going through this very violent surgery to save his life.
Wow.
That involves going into his brain and, changing things around.
For Coulson?
For Coulson.
For Coulson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I can see that for a main Avenger, but for Coulson?
Yeah. Well, they had to have a star of the TV show.
I guess so. Damn.
So there's any last thoughts on Iron Man?
No, that's about it. I like it. It's a good one. It stands up the test of time.
Let's do this week's SOB OTW. We always encourage you, good or bad, to reach out to us. You could send us emails like Mark did. We're about to read his email. AJP@adamandjp.com, or connect with us on social media, Twitter, @AdamandJP, using the hashtag SOBOTW. And you could be the SOB of the week.
We had a fantastic advertisement we paid many dollars for at the Neil Diamond concert this last week. It was a good 10-second ad up on the Jumbotron. It was good.
So Mark from Brownsville, Texas writes, "Hey guys, though I love the show, you always have to be leery of something that starts out with though. Though
that's true, but however,
though I love the show, I think you missed some great movie characters. We recently did, 4 episodes about our favorite movie
Mark,
characters.
It would be impossible to name every single good character, but go on.
I know. I knew this was going to happen. No John Belushi from Animal House? ? No Black Bart from Blazing Saddles? ? No Patton? I'm pretty sure he's talking about George C. Scott from Patton.
Yeah.
No Goblin King?
Gerald should be, yeah.
No Mick Dundee?
No.
Yeah,
I'm going to go say no.
I think you're stretching a little bit there, buddy. No Boba Fett? We did like 100 Star Wars characters.
We did a lot of layers of Star Wars, really.
I'm wearing a Boba Fett shirt right now.
And I'll be honest, he's one of the those guys that's like, take it or leave it. I love Boba Fett, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But in the full story of the whole Star Wars story, he does nothing.
Just some I thought you missed. Keep up the fun podcast, Mark.
Nice. Thanks, Mark.
I like John Belushi. I had him on my list for Blues Brothers.
Right, you can only one Belushi.
Yeah, and Animal House is fun, but I think Jake Blues is a better character.
Agreed, yeah.
Goblin King may be one. Like, I'm not a huge. I know you're a huge Labyrinth
Big
fan.
time, yeah.
And I think you're a much bigger Labyrinth fan than I am.
Yeah.
So
it almost made it for me.
Maybe you
It's
have some
pretty,
regrets.
It's pretty. Yeah, I think I do regret that. If I had one regret. Wow.
If I have one regret,
run wig-wed. That would be it. Goblin King for sure.
Yeah, mine would be Patton.
Yeah.
We definitely should have put Patton on the list.
You think so?
Yeah. George C. Scott?
Yeah.
But wasn't that the 60s? Was that the 70s?
I don't know.
I would have to check.
It's all a blur of my life.
I was thinking Patton was like 68.
I don't know.
It might have been 70s, though.
I've never seen that. I don't really plan to.
When you stick your hand...
I've seen the monologue, of course, yeah.
That bunch of goo that used to be your best friend's face. You know what I mean. We're going to go through them like shit from a goose.
Yeah, that monologue.
Hey, before we go, we were talking about Iron Man.
Right.
Director of Iron Man 3, Shane Black, is going to direct a brand new Predator movie.
Really?
Now, is Predator one of your favorite Arnold movies?
No.
Okay. But you're familiar with Predator.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Is this a good idea? Arnold says he's not coming back. He will not make even a cameo in the Predator movie. But that's okay. It's not called Arnold. It's called Predator. As long as there's a bunch of Predators running around.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. Get to the chopper.
So a reboot / remake?
I don't know.
We've already had the AVP movies. It's not like this is a new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shane Black, traditionally, and I didn't know this until I think I was listening to one of the Collider podcasts, and they talked about this. So far, every one of Shane Black's movies has taken place at Christmas.
Really?
Including Iron Man 3.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
that's odd.
How do you feel about a Predator movie that takes place at Christmas?
So be it. Let's make it happen. Let's do a little more, little Predator 2 style, kind of in the city.
You want to go to the city?
Yeah.
Not the jungle?
Yeah, jungle's overdone.
No, was Arnold Schwarzenegger in the jungle or in the city?
No,
in
that was Glover.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, Carl Weathers is in the first one.
Yeah, he's yeah.
And so is Jesse the Body Ventura.
Yeah.
If you can get those two back.
You son of a bitch, how are you?
That's where we get it from.
Yeah, that's it. It's the SOBOTW. It's all full circle.
It's all full circle now.
Yeah. Ain't got time to bleed. That's Jesse the Body, yeah. I've seen Predator way too many times. First time I saw that, I was below the age of 10 eating a Snickers bar. I'm like, ooh.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Never forget it, though. It was good. I like your little more cheesy Arnold. I believe he's more of a cheesy actor. I believe that's when he shines. But as far as serious roles, that was a good one.
Yeah. I liked Predator.
It was good, yeah. Good
I don't think
effects.
I ever saw Predator 2.
You never saw it with Glover?
I don't think so.
You're not missing out.
When we do the Predator anthology.
Yeah.
You know what I didn't care for at all?
What's that?
Was those Alien versus... I only saw the first Alien versus Predator.
I saw parts of it and I was done.
And I almost left the theater.
Yeah.
But I didn't pay to go, so it was fine.
There you go.
It was like one of those... Hey, here's some tickets. Well, why are these tickets free? Oh, because this movie sucks.
Yeah, I don't plan to see those.
Does Guardians of the Galaxy come out next week?
Yeah, in a few weeks here. It's May something.
2 weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks, yeah.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll be in the theaters watching Volume 2. Have you seen the track listing for the soundtrack?
No. It looked pretty good?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
I think the soundtrack actually comes out today.
Really?
Well, the day we record this.
Nice.
Which is Friday, not Tuesday when you're listening to
Right,
it.
yeah. It's all...
So confusing.
Podcastception.
Well, I think that does it for this show, unless you have anything else you want to add.
I think we're good to go. That's the wrap.
That is the wrap. We did some Iron Man.
We did.
We did some Alex Jones.
Yeah.
We did our SOBOTW.
It's a full show.
Talked about Predator.
A full dish of a podcast roll. Got to tie it in every now and then.
Check us out online, adamandjp.com. Also, don't forget to rate and review.
Of course.
On the Apple Podcast app.
That's so weird to say that, isn't it?
Now, iTunes.
Yeah.
It's Apple.
Yeah.
The Apple Podcast app. Go and find Podcast Roll, rate and review. Or you can tweet at us.
Of course, at AdamandJP, and always Facebook.com/AdamandJP. And don't ever forget, Patreon.com/podcastroll. A lot of fun things are on there as well. You can have more of the archived Adam and JP or /podcastroll or other shows we've done in the past on that archive feed for as little as $1 a month. It can be yours at patreon.com/podcastroll.
I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
Eat your podcast roll.
I bet that pizza tastes good. Mm-hmm.
This This has been a production of the Adam and JP family of on-demand talk radio.
AdamandJP.com.
Right now.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network, your station for all things geek, classic, current, and beyond. Be part of the crew at ESONetwork.com.